Welcome everyone to the Weather Nerds YouTube page. I'm meteorologist Greg Majeski, and I'm setting up a little bit of alarm for a couple areas of active severe weather potential heading into your Thursday. Looking at the satellite picture currently here on your Wednesday, we're seeing an area of low pressure down here in the Gulf of Mexico that's got a cluster of thunderstorms in the Gulf of Mexico that are going to track across Florida. And then there's another system out here in the west. This system out here is going to track into the plains and is going to set off the potential for severe weather in two parts of the country. The Storm Prediction Center is showing this as we take a look at right now. You can see those two areas of concern for Thursday. That slight risk here in the middle of the country from Nebraska stretching on down to Kansas, and again cutting across the central area of the peninsula of Florida with a secondary area of severe weather. Breaking this down by the categories, you can see the tornado threat is the highest down here across the Florida peninsula, where you're looking at a 5% risk of tornadoes and only running about 2% here across the middle of the country from Nebraska stretching on down toward Kansas as we go through the day on Thursday. Additional concerns, the wind damage about the same, about 5% for both locations. And then the hail threat, well, that's actually the highest in the middle of the country, again, right through here from Nebraska down to Kansas, where we see the hail threat getting up to about 15% with that storm system coming out of the Rockies into the middle of the country. Looking at the upper level winds at about 18,000 feet, we can take a look at both these systems that are going to be driving the active weather for Thursday. The first system, of course, is going to be down here across Florida. That's the one that's going to be setting off the active weather probably earlier in the day down here across the Florida Peninsula. And then the second system here and coming out of the Rockies, this one will be later in the day on your Thursday, going into Thursday night. So as we go ahead and step through this, through the North American model here, you can see that system racing across Florida, and by the early afternoon heading on out to sea. And then our attention turns for the second round, which will be coming out of the Rockies late in the day on Thursday. You can see that low pressure across Nebraska, setting up those active weather across Nebraska and Kansas, and that's where that severe weather with gusty winds as well as large hail will be the main focus. The tornado risk will be pretty on low, and then this swings on out and weakens as it moves into Iowa heading into Friday. The European model is showing how these two systems will evolve as we go through the day on Thursday. First, we're going to focus in on the storm system to the south. This is the one that down across the Gulf Coast, right down here. That's going to be the first one that'll provide the severe weather for the Florida Peninsula first. So as I step through here, you can see how this is going to evolve as we head into early Thursday morning. This is about 7 o'clock or so, and then showing the tail end of that front kind of moving on through there. So you'll be watching for the severe weather kind of breaking up right through there as that front starts to clear, as the low pressure system begins to move off the eastern seaboard throughout the day on your Thursday morning and heading up to around noontime. So this clears on out. Then our attention is going to shift to the secondary system a little bit later in the day as we go into the afternoon hours. This is storm system number 2 that we're going to watch as this low pressure, a pretty decent one, 995 showing here on the European model as this moves throughout the day. So I'm going to step this back just a little bit. So you're looking at late afternoon into the early evening hours. You're seeing that development right through there, and we could get some thunderstorms forming right across that Nebraska into Kansas, right through there as we go through the day late on Thursday into Thursday evening with the storm system. And as I progress this further forward, the low pressure begins to weaken a bit as we go through the day and going into Friday morning. And then you're only looking at a general thunderstorm, maybe a marginal risk of severe weather going into Friday, heading into Illinois. And that's a look at your active weather, severe weather alert for Thursday, October the 12th into early Friday morning. If you do me a favor, you like what you see, please leave a comment down below and tell me what you'd like to see improvements on. You hit the subscribe button as well as the notification button. That way, when I produce new content, you can be alerted to the fact that I've got something uploaded here on the Weather Nerds YouTube page. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Bye.